From Andrea Guolo in Italy, David Holtz in Brazil, and Don Oshman, our editor-in-chief in North America. It's time for another edition of the Sunday Night Week in Review Market Roundup presented by HideNet, where knowledge creates profits.
Good morning, or good evening, or good afternoon, depends where you are. Hi, it's time for the HideNet Weekly Sunday Night Market Report, only it's Monday morning. We are in Denver, Colorado this week, and we're not in our normal HideNet studio. Anyway, a lot to cover, so we'll get right to it. Our sympathies to our colleagues who may have had friends in France during this debacle that happened over the weekend. Terrible thing, but it's interesting that in times of pestilence, war, and famine, the hide market just keeps going on because people are still eating and the hides have to be disposed of and the markets fluctuate. But of course, this incident won't affect hide prices, but it's a venerable trade. Anyway, from Europe this week, Andrea Guolo tells that ox heifers are up, bulls are firm, veal very firm, and thanks to automotive. Veal skins are steady, cow sector is steady, lamb sheep are unchanged, Australian markets are firm, but in New Zealand, wet blue ox heifers were lower. Andrea took a quick 3-day trip to Hong Kong this past week, and he reports on his findings in that major city. North America this week, markets were firmly steady to higher. Wet blue Texas were steady as same as last week as $80, $82 CNF. Wet salted Texas were very quiet because the 66, 68 pound common average now, packers are very well sold. They have some heavy Texas steers of 74, 72 pounds to dispose of, and those are a little softer, but the regular wet salted Texas sold at about $64 CNF. Bulls, natives gained $1. Other hides were steady. Other selections and steers were steady. Low-grade movement improved. There was some demand finally, and that's cleaning up a lot of old supplies. But overall, sales were below production. October, with the exception of 2 weeks in October, the last 2 weeks in October, sales have been below production for about the last 3 months or more. And thus we have the markets we have, which are now touched at the July lows. We're a little bit off that in native steers and butts, but overall we're at the lows of the year, which were seen first in July and now this last couple of weeks. So the bottom has been established. We don't think we're going below that, but are we going up? That's a big question. When you subscribe and get our reports every week, you can see our forecasts, which are 85% corrected. What's correct? Not corrected, correct. What's it worth to see that? Free HideNet subscription. Go and see it. Go and get one. HideNet.com. Register. No cost, no obligation. You can see for yourself why HideNet pays. Latin America this week, David Holtz reports that big news from there. Brazilian TR1 and 2 jumped 10 cents a foot, and better productions are now selling for $1.20, $1.25 CFR. Bids at $1.10 to $1.15 are being passed. Of course, asking prices of $1.30 are being neglected. But it's very interesting that the better productions of the better TR1 and 2, maybe a little 3 grades, are sold until the end of the year. So if a buyer wants to come in now and buy these hides, and by the way, Brazilian production is going to be down about 25% this year, which is a large number of hides in cattle, but hides. They're going to have a tough time buying the best qualities for the end of the year. And of course, if you want to get it in before Chinese New Year or into Europe before holiday shutdowns, as they say in New York, forget about it. That's what's going on there. Low grades, TR3456 or something, that's another story. Splits is another story. In Argentina, there was a slight downward adjustment in the Buenos Aires market, and that was just due to currency. Auto crust in Argentina is doing okay, but not footwear. Argentine slaughter this year is expected to be up 2%, but compared to Brazil and America, it's inconsequential. All we can say is check out our This Week in Leather reports on our website, HideNet.com. You might find some great value in that, like many of our readers around the world do. Look at our international reports that cover 20 to 30 countries each week. You name the item, and African skins and all over the world. You might find that of very interest, depends on what part of this industry you're in. And we have our daily U.S. market report, which is interesting to some, and we have another item called InstaTrade, all for free, in-depth reporting, HideNet.com. Thank you for watching. We'll check in again next week, and it might be Sunday night or Monday morning. Thanks. Bye.